Hi, welcome back to Faith and Conviction, and I'm your host, Ray Harris, and we want to go over this week's Torah portion, and it's Torah portion 11, Parashah 11, and it's Vayigash, and I hope I pronounced that right, and it is translated, He approached. And this Torah portion is from Genesis chapter 44, verse 18 through chapter 47, verse 27. And so we want to look at the key word this time and see what it means for us, connecting Moses through the Septuagint over to the Messiah in the New Testament, and seeing our Greek and what it comes out to be in English, because this does help us to see how all the languages are working together. And I think at the end, there's a neat little working that is interesting to me. But let's go look at our verse first, and it's chapter 44, verse 18. And Vayigash is the first Hebrew word in that verse. And the Strong's numbering on that is H5066, which is connected to this word, if I pronounce it right, Nagash. And that is the word which connects us all around here in our work. So Brown Driver Briggs says that Nagash means to draw near, to approach, to be brought near. So it has something to do with I'm walking toward the camera, or I'm coming in this way, I'm being brought near. So anyway, it's coming near something. So go and look at verse 44, or chapter 44, verse 18. The King James says, "Then Judah came near unto him and said." So Judah walks up and he's near him. The Complete Jewish Bible says it this way: "Then Yehudah approached Joseph." So it tells us who the person is, but also that he approached him. An approach, usually walking up is an approach. But the JPS says it this way: "Then Judah went up to him." And that translation is out of this Torah here, this Torah. So I find it interesting that there is another use of this word in our Torah portion, and it's chapter 45, verse 4. In the King James it says, "And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me." Now, it's very interesting how the Complete Jewish does this. Come closer. And then the JPS, this one here, says come forward. So again, it's got this idea of approaching, you're drawing near to someone, you're moving near to their location. So as our habit, as we're going through our keywords, is we're looking at it through the Septuagint, the Greek translation of this Hebrew, just so we can see what the Greek New Testament is doing and get a little bit of an idea. So the Greek Old Testament, if I pronounce this right, Egisas de auto Eudas apen. Coming near to him, Judah said. So it's very interesting what's happening here. So it's Egisas. Again, when you go to faithandconviction.org, I'll have all this correspondence and concordance information down at the bottom of the video, so you can see a little bit more of the detail there. But the Greek numbering on that is G1448, and that's at Strong's numbering. So Thayer tells us that this G1448 means to bring near, to draw near, to approach. The exact same meaning as over here with the Hebrew word. So I went to the King James Concordance, and I find that this Greek word is in there several times in the New Testament, and I want to look at several verses. So most verses translate it using the word nigh conjoined with a verb. So like Matthew 15 and verse 8, it says draweth nigh. Matthew 21 verse 1 says drew nigh. Also in Luke 7 and verse 12, came nigh. And Luke 10 and verse 9, come nigh. So you have all of these, you're drawing near, you're coming near, same meanings as over here in the Hebrew. Now what's interesting is you have this word translated as approacheth in Luke 12 and verse 33, and approaching in Hebrews 10 and verse 25. So we can see that this Hebrew word and the Greek translation come over into the English conveying the exact same meaning. But there's an interesting translation that happens, and it's called at hand. So I want us to really focus in on this, and this will be our focal point for understanding the Hebrew and the Greek. Matthew 3 and verse 2, the King James says, "And saying, Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Even the English Standard Version translates it, at hand. Now, if we take in mind the Greek, which is approaching, which is a translation of the Hebrew, what if we say, repent for the kingdom of heaven is approaching? Or, for the kingdom of heaven is drawing near. Now, this is a very different idea than at hand. We think at hand does have an idea of drawing near, but it seems more immediate. It's right here. But the idea of approaching means it's coming toward. It's moving toward us. So look also down in 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7. This same Greek word, which is eggidzo, G1448, has this idea of drawing nigh. But the end of all things is at hand, is the King James. And the ESV still does at hand. But it's the idea of drawing near. So what if we said that the end of all things is drawing near? Which is very interesting, because we just passed what some people are interpreting as an ancient civilization having said the world was coming to a close. And yet here we are having this video and having a discussion today. Is the end drawing near? Yes, it's drawing more near than it was for Peter. And it's drawing more near than that other ancient civilization. But you and I both know that even though we are living, our end of our life is drawing near. So the end of all things is approaching in a cosmic way, and the scriptures attest to that. So this is very interesting, and we can see that these words are used from Moses to Messiah. Now sometimes it's expressed in Hebrew, or it's expressed in Greek, or it's expressed in English. And these things and these ideas come across conveying very important things. They express power. They express proximity. These are very interesting concepts that we live with as humans. But we want to see through the Torah portion and through the Greek the power of Messiah and the power of Moses, and that they testify to the similar things and the same things, which is the power of God, the one who has created all this beauty, who has allowed us to be able to communicate today. So I hope this brings some blessings to you, and until next time, continue to seek God, know Messiah, find hope.